Alright guys, now we're going to try to add some sounds to different effects. Jumping, collecting coins, and walking. So now you can see when my player walks. Oh, going to click on the screen. What the? That's the footstep sound that comes with your audio file. Alright, so then we're going to add some other sounds. And then we're going to play with the camera a little bit. So I'm on the bottom of page 227, Unity's audio system, so we're going to start from there. Alright, so I got my game here. Right now I don't have any sounds. I don't have an audio folder or anything like that. So the first thing you're going to do is import your assets. So remember, go to Assets, right-click, Import Package, Custom, and then go find your file. And remember, this is Chapter 11, so grab the 11 Start. Now, you don't want any of the prefabs. We've already made all those prefabs. We've already made the scenes, and we've already made the scripts. Make sure you scroll down, make sure nothing's checked. The only thing you want is the audio files. And then import. And boom, so now I have some audio files. And I've got coin collecting, if I take damage, and a couple different footsteps, and then jumping. Alright, so starting on page 227, they talk about the different files that Unity accepts. You know, an AIFF, an MP3, an OGG. I've never even heard of an OGG, and then a WAV file. Alright, and then we turn to page 228 and 229. All the different settings that you can do with audio. Make sure you guys understand all those. And then the audio listener. Remember, there's an audio listener, and then there's an audio source. You've got to have both in your game, otherwise sound won't work. So in our situation, if I go to player, main camera, there's the audio listener right here. So you need to have that listener. Anytime you make a camera, you automatically get a listener. And if you still have the HUD camera that we made from the previous chapter that we didn't need, you're probably getting a message down here in the error saying that you've got 2 listeners. So just get rid of that one. And you can see here, like through my thing, actually right there it is, HUD camera. There was a listener here, but you can actually just get rid of this. As long as your HUD's working and you've got it attached to the main camera, you can just right click and delete the HUD. Alright, so now I'm on page 231 and about the middle of the page, so we're going to click the player game object. Then we're going to add a component, audio source. So scroll down, add component, audio, and we want an audio source. And if I scroll down, there's my audio source. We don't want to put anything in there. They also then want you to grab player and move it to the prefab. Don't do that yet. We might as well wait till it's all ready. Alright, then open the player controller script and add the following code. So scripts, player controller script. Alright, I'll add the code and I'll be right back. Alright, so the first thing I add are the 2 different variables, and they add a public and a private variable. Alright, then we scroll down here to the void awake function, and we add audio source equals this get component audio source. And then after that, we scroll down to the bottom and we create the last new function. So here I am at the bottom. Now I'm going to make the new function. It's just going to be void play footstep. Audio. Let me fix that. And then we finish this up. Alright, and then here's the final functions of void. Play footstep audio, and then audio source what clip, and the clip is going to be stored in footstep sounds. And then what do I want to do with it? I want to play that file. Now, if everything's good when we save this, we shouldn't see any errors over here, which is good. And then if I click on player, where that's attached to, there it is. I should eventually see footstep sounds right here. So that's what I'm looking for, footstep sounds. So click on player, go to player controller, find it wherever that is in your components, and make sure footstep sounds now shows up. Alright, now at this point they want you to go to the audio SFX folder and grab one of the footstep noises. And there's 3 different ones. There's footstep 5, 6, and 9. I'm going to just grab 6. And then drag it here to that footstep sounds. Alright, once you do that, here's where it gets a little bit weird. Well, I don't know if you're weird. It was kind of hard to follow this part in the book. So now, make sure you've got the player highlighted. and then hit Window, Animation, and now we're going to add the sound. So here it should start to player idle. You want to change that to player walk, and then you'll see like the walking animation. And if I hit that down, now remember these were the little parts of the animation. So what I want to do is I want to link the sound to the animation, so whenever the animation plays, I want the sound to play. Now they tell you in the book to, and I'm on number 5 on 232, they tell you to place these events at 6 and 5. That didn't really work for me. The problem with audio in the animations, your animation only plays when you move, and when you stop moving the animation stops, but the audio file still plays. So you need to make sure that you time those right. So I'm going to move this counter here and move it to number 1, and then I'm going to add an event here with this thing, this little thing here. I hope you can see this in the video. No, I just had 3. Don't be like me. So now I need to find that one and delete that event, and then that one, delete that event. So I only want one event, and I want to click on it, and I want to edit animation event. And then we want to link that to the footstep audio function. And now we're all set. When we play that and we start walking in our game, hopefully it'll start playing. Alright, so let's try that out. So again, there's nothing to save, it saves automatically. Just close that window, make sure that this is blue or whatever that you, and now when you click, like move the mouse over it, it says play footstep audio. Close that, and now try. And now my guy's got footsteps. But you can see how sometimes when he stops the animation, the sound still plays. So if you'd have put that at 6, I don't know if that would have been right. I don't know. So play with that a little bit. See what you can do. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. Again, this is just a test thing to show you how to do things. But in the real world, you want to make sure that you time those events or those audio clips to play at the right times and the right amounts. Now, what we did there was we linked the sound to the animation. So whenever the animation plays, the sound file kicks off. But in certain instances, like jumping, we might not want the sound to kick off with the animation, because we might just jump like a little small thing or something like that, and we don't want the jump noise to kind of keep going or do weird stuff. So now I'm on page 233, and we're going to add the sound to the actual script file, so that whenever the script is triggered to jump, it plays the audio from the script and not from the animation. So just a different way of linking that. So as much as we all hate this book, this was one of the reasons that we got it, was because it shows you multiple ways to do different things, and that way it's not just one way. So it's kind of neat. Anyway, I digress. Let's move on. Alright, so then they want you to go back to scripts and go to the player controller, and hopefully, I still got that one up. Bloop. Alright, let me add the stuff, and then I'll be right back. Alright, the first thing I'm going to add a new public variable called, it's going to be an audio clip called jump sound. Make sure when you're doing the scripts that you're using uppercase and lowercase when they're calling for it. So jump, the J should be lowercase, and S, the S should be uppercase. Alright, in the next part I want you to go to void update and add these 2 lines to the if statement, and then this line to the if else statement. So these lines are just going to say, hey, if I'm jumping, play the audio file. And then you'll see that they're going to be read at first because we haven't even created the function yet. So right now, play jump audio doesn't exist. So now we're going to create that. So I'm going to scroll down to the bottom, and now I'm going to create that function. And now if I go back up, that one fixed. Oh, this one needs to be uppercase. That's the issue. And those are all fixed. Alright, let me type in this function. And then I add this line to the new function. Audio source, play the clip at this point. This, and here's the jump sound, and then at this position. Alright, let's save that. And clear. I always like to just play these through once I do a new script, just to make sure no error or new ones pop up. Alright, and then to check it, make sure you click on player, and make sure jump sound, I don't want to rename that, jump sound, the audio, just leave it blank for now. Alright, now on page 234, they tell you to actually move the file over there. So go back to the audio SFX file, and grab jump, and pop it in there. And we're all set. Alright, now we want to test it out to make sure it works. So go ahead and hit play. and then I'm going to jump my guy, and we should hear a noise. And while it's not very loud, I am hearing a noise, so we're good. Alright guys, I'm going to stop the video right here. You've got enough to work with for this week. You're going to add the effects to the coin box, you're going to add the effects to the player, you're going to put sound for walking, sound for jumping. And again, I don't care how hokey the sound is. Like obviously in my video, the jump sound in the video sounds really loud, but when I play it here at home, it doesn't sound very loud. So I don't know if that's because of my recording software or what. But at this point, all I'm worried about is that you understand how to put sounds in. So go ahead and put the walking sound in the animation. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just when I walk, I want to hear some kind of sound. And when I jump, I want to hear some kind of sound. So stop there at page 234 at the bottom, adding sound to the damage effect. And then next week we'll add the sound to the damage effect. And then we'll add sound to the coins. And then we'll clean up the camera. And then that'll wrap up that chapter. And then the week after that we'll do optimization and organization, and then after that we'll put it all together. And then that'll be just about right. So again, if you have any questions, make sure you let me know. Other than that, have a great week.